valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well and welcome to what is almost certainly going to be an extremely interesting surface warfare battle. So a few days ago we did this, US Zumwalt destroyer versus Chinese Type 055 destroyer. It was an okay battle, but there were some problems. The first problem was I really didn't understand the Zumwalt destroyer at the time. It was my first time using it and looking at it. I asked you guys to help me understand. I read through the 300 or so comments that you guys kindly put on this video, and it's really helped me understand it. I'm now much more impressed by the Zumwalt, and so I want another shot with it. As well as that, we had some technical problems with the Type 055 that I want to address. But I don't want to do the Zumwalt versus the 055 again. Reason being, I've got some other plans for the 055 coming up. But for the Zumwalt, I'm deciding today to put it up against two variants of the Iwoa class battleship. And that's actually a request from you guys, because you guys say that the Zumwalt was essentially designed as a replacement to the Iwoa. The 1980s Iwoa refit, of course, was not a ship killer, and it definitely wasn't an anti-aircraft warfare vessel. It was a shore bombardment vessel, which also is what the Zumwalt was designed to be. A standoff, low observability land attack vessel. So, essentially, it's the father of the modernised Iwoa. So before we get stuck in today, let's have a look just at some things that I've learnt about the Zumwalt that are interesting. First, I asked you guys, how did the Zumwalt, being, 16,000 tons, achieve such a low acoustic signature, making it difficult to detect by submarines? You guys said that there was two main things. One, it was designed around the tumble home hull, a specially shaped hull, which gives off a smaller acoustic signature generally. As well as that, a special type of engine, a semi-electric powered engine, rather than in a traditional vessel where you would have, I believe, a turbine and direct coupling. As well as that, its low radar cross-section, obviously its very strange shape being a giveaway. I said to you guys, what's the point of trying to make a ship stealthy? You're never going to hide 16,000 tons. And you guys said, well, it's never designed to hide it per se. It's not trying to be an F-22 or an F-35 invisible. Instead, it's trying to make itself look smaller. And that is really important, because its lower radar cross-section would give its signature to a radar trying to find it something on the order of a fishing boat. And that's very important because it makes it hard to identify. Now, when we do these small, unrealistic battles here, you just got the two ships that are fighting. But in real life, where, for instance, Russian or Chinese AEW aircraft are searching wide expanses, and in those expanses are all sorts of civilian non-combatants, fishing boats, pleasure boats, tankers, and so on. So if you've got this ship here that looks like a fishing boat, it's going to be much harder to identify. So I really appreciate how important that must be now, especially if it's operating without escort. As well as that, the lower radar cross-section makes it more difficult to see in terms of range. The 055 and less stealthy vessels would be able to be seen at a long distance. I don't really know how long, let's say 400 miles by a big powerful radar. Well, the Zumwalt, showing the sizes of a fishing boat, would be detected at more like, I'm guessing, 100 or maybe 200 miles. And that's very important because in its 2030's refit, it's going to have SM-6, a surface-to-air missile that can range nearly 300 miles. So in this case, let's say a Russian AEW aircraft was trying to find it, it would have to get within SM-6 range and that SM-6 would shoot it down. So I now appreciate the benefits of the Zumwalt. Yes, it didn't really work out how they planned, but that's the changing face of warfare. Things change. It's hard to gestate a very long project nowadays when the world is changing. Anyway, sorry to ramble on, viewers. It's just really interesting for me to learn these things, and I really enjoy liaising with you guys about it. On to today's battle, viewers. It's going to be a normal battle, kind of 50, 60 miles between vessels. No realism at all. It's just a pure firepower test. Let's get it done. Let's see what happens. First, let's look at the Zumwalt class. It's 2030's configuration because it is going into service again. The two futuristic guns it was designed around are no longer going to be a thing. They've been cancelled. They are being replaced by cells to house hypersonic missiles, LRHW, known as Dark Eagle, which we have here today. As impressive as Dark Eagle is, it's not going to be used today, and that's because it has a minimum range of 300 miles, so 300 to 2,500 miles. I'm not going to do a 300-mile battle today because Iowa, in any configuration, does not have missiles that can do 300 miles. And there's no point of doing a battle where only one guy can fire, obviously. So, no Dark Eagle today, or at least we shan't be using it. But she has a variety of other weapons. She will have her Mark 57 VLS with 80 cells, which is very impressive, including the RGM 109 Tomahawk 5 MST. This is a modernized anti-shipping variant of the Tomahawk with low observability features, as I've learnt recently. Up to 250 or so miles, and you all know about it. 40 of those, so that's taking up half of the VLS. The other half of the VLS will be RIM 162 ESSM, medium-range defensive missile, of course you know. RUM 139 as well, but that's anti-submarine, so no relevance today. Its big weapon today is going to be the RIM 174 SM6 ERAM, surface-to-air, surface-to-surface, maximum range 270 miles, and that will complete its VLS. So, those are its weapons today. In fact, I missed one, HVP. HVP, I've learned, is Hyper Velocity Projectile, from what I can see. It's essentially a vastly upgraded, super high velocity 155mm artillery shell with a very large range, to be used in ground artillery as well naval ships. Its credentials are very impressive, but I've not actually seen evidence that the Zumwalt is going to get it. I apologise if I've got that wrong. So what we'll do is we'll start without HVP, and if it turns out Zumwalt needs HVP, then we can add that in. I've just remembered one thing. I forgot to say why I had problems with a 055 on the previous video, viewers. If you remember, the Zumwalt worked perfectly in this battle. The 055 didn't. It fired its anti-shipping missiles initially, and then it stopped firing, and I got very annoyed, and I started saying, "Oh, stupid mod, it's all bugged." It turns out, you guys pointed out, I should have spotted this myself, but you know what I get like in a moment, the Zumwalt with its SM6s shot down the AWACS of the red side. With the AWACS shot down, the Type 055, of course, could no longer target the Zumwalt, and so it couldn't fire. So that was my fault. I should have spotted that, viewers, and of course I can remedy that pretty easily. In terms of the Iowa, we'll have two versions of her. The 1980's, the real fit, which has non-VLS RGM 109B Tomahawk, the anti-shipping Tomahawk, also anti-land Tomahawk, also harpoon missiles, also, of course, it's 16-inch guns, it's 5-inch guns, and 4 Seawiz amidships. The 1990's proposed refit, I can't see its weapons here, so we'll jump into 3D at this point. She was to have 4 Mark 41 matrices amidships, as you can see here, and her weaponry in a multi-mission fit is 122 RIM 66H Block 2 SM2 MR as per the time period, as well as that anti-ship strike 61 RGM 109 Bravos. Now, a lot of you say it's unrealistic to use those in 1990's battles because they went out of service in 1994, and I get that. But as these aren't supposed to be hugely realistic, these battles, I think we can get away with it, and it gives us a good fight. So a slightly alternate history. As well as that, anti-land Tomahawk's not only used for today, or won't be used today, as well as that 16 RGM 84 harpoons and her various assortment of guns. So, pretty dang well armed ship. We've got the 1980's variant there. Of course, her missiles were not VLS, they were podded here. In terms of the battle, viewers, we'll start with the 1980's Iowa. Range between vessels 50 to 60 miles. Again, this is not tactical, this is a firepower display at this range. In terms of AWACS, we use them in a non-tactical fashion. We'll have red with AWACS allowing it to fire on Iowa. Blue can't have AWACS because they'll get shot down by Zumwalt, and even if they don't get shot down by Zumwalt, I found that Zumwalt's low observability actually makes it hard for the AWACSs to see her. You get sporadic contacts and it's just generally difficult. So instead, I'm going to have a non-combatant submarine tail her. And that goes back to the other reason I said of it being very useful having a low radar cross-section, because it means an AWACS can't really keep tabs on her because she'll shoot them down. So, that thing that was annoying me last time, in the previous battle, actually shows a really important point of Zumwalt. We have a gentleman's agreement, viewers, that the ship with the slowest anti-ship missiles get to fire first so that we can see everyone firing, but in this case they're basically using the same missiles, or modernised variants of. So I'm going to let Iowa fire first because she's the older and cooler ship. Go. I have not asked her to fire at the vessel. She will fire on her own accord, so what she fires is completely up to her, and it's always a bit of a surprise. Right, let's go and see what she fired before we unleash the newer vessel. So, we've got a mixture of RGM-109B Tomahawk and I thought I saw, yeah, some harpoons. A whole bunch. I'm not sure how many of that is. I would say about 20. All but 2 harpoons were fired and all but 2 Tomahawks were fired. So that's a really impressive salvo to begin with. Why has she fired so many? I don't know, but it's up to her. Right, so we're going to unpause and we're going to set the Zumwalt to free fire. Off she goes. In fact, she had already started firing something before I set her to free fire. I'm not sure what that was. Probably self-defense missiles. Let's go and have a look. RIM 174. So SM6 have been fired. Now, is it in a defensive fashion? Presumably it's fired in a defensive fashion. Yes, okay, they're going to go for the Tomahawks by the looks of it. Being SM6 modern data link active radar homing missiles, they can of course fire completely over the horizon on a link from the AWACS, or a data link track from the AWACS. So they're going to be shooting down the blue missiles. Pop. And those old RGM-109Bs do not have any stealth credentials, so they can be seen a long way away. Great hunting there. This one's gone for the ship. Pause. Now, why is that, viewers? Well, this is actually a really interesting idea because it wasn't fired at the ship, because it was fired before I set her to free fire. So in fact, it would have been sent at one of these missiles here, lost its track for whatever reason, and has reacquired a new target, the ship. Could it do that in real life? You know what? I don't know. I don't see why not, though. Well, this could be an early exit for the big eye. Chaff. Seawares, yeah! Seawares looking good. Okay, more SM6s, again, going for the Tomahawks and the Harpoons. MSTs won't come over to the horizon for several minutes. Tens of minutes, maybe. Missed! Well, that could definitely happen. Wow, loads of SM6. Again, fired in a defensive fashion rather than an offensive fashion. Again, this one missed its original target and has now gone for the big eye. So most are taking out Iowa's anti-shipping missiles. You know what? Iowa's doing okay. No obvious problems so far. Now, can she take 3 SM6s? 3 SM6s have got through. All she's got to defend with is Seawares. 1 down. 1 jammed. Can she get a Seawares back in operation? Oh, she can. Well done. This is a 1980s fit, viewers. Pause. One thing I see that's changed in sea power lately is the American Seawares seem to have got much better, which is good. I think they're busy rebalancing the game at the moment, which is fair enough. Right, so all that's in the air at the moment are the remaining blue missiles. I'm not sure how many were fired, 20 or so. And there's probably 8 left. The rest have been taken out by SM6. We can't see the MSTs because we don't have an AWACS, so they're working their way over the horizon at some point. The Zumwalt has fired all of her RIM 174 SM6s, none of her ESSM, which will be used purely for close-in defence. She's fired none of her Sea Eagle, obviously. She's fired 10 of her MSTs, and she won't fire another 10, presumably, until the others get to target. So far, a stalemate. Oh, what's that? ESSM going out at close defence at 20 miles. Oh, and the naval gun. What is the naval gun? Don't even know what that naval gun is. Interestingly, the Harpoons are left. So the Tomahawks, due to their high flight altitude and large bodies, were spotted by the AWACS and could be targeted. But the Harpoons, which are smaller and lower, couldn't be seen by the AWACS, and therefore they couldn't be targeted by the SM6s. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So they have to be shot at 20 miles as they come over the horizon. Very interesting stuff. Now, unfortunately for us Iowa fans, it's not going to pay off. Turn the sensors on so we can see the sensors. No, that's it. They're all down. None got there. And she's firing her remaining ones, which is only a handful. Well, she did the best she could. She almost fired all of her missiles at once, and that's the best she's ever going to be able to do. Right, now here come the MSTs, of which there were, 10? Apparently you guys tell me the amount of missiles that are fired at a threat is decided in the programming file, if you like, the INI file, which you can get access to and you can change it. However, do we really want to start changing it, viewers? Why don't we just leave it? I kind of like the surprise, to be honest, as long as it's not stupidly unrealistic. I kind of like being surprised about who is going to shoot how many missiles. Plus, you open up the possibility for me to start scripting stuff and making the guy I want to win. If, you know, if we do that, it's just bad form all over. 5-inch guns, that must be. I doubt she'd fire a 16-inch guns at missiles. Seawiz, 1 down, 2 down. Yeah, Seawiz definitely improving. Well, in my opinion. 2 each side of midships, obviously. Jammed, you know what I mean, spoofed. Wow! How good has Seawiz got all of a sudden? It's just defended 10 MSTs. Oh, just as I said it, just as I said it. An MST has a huge, huge warhead. Ah, she's dead. She's down, viewers. Just couldn't quite defend it. That's sad to see. That's almost certainly her gone down. Well tried, Iowa. Well tried. She put up a damn good fight. I don't think there's much point continuing with that. There's moderate hull damage. All of her weapon systems are offline. And to be honest, she's out of missiles now. Those 4 are easily going to be intercepted. And 10 more MSTs are along their way. So I don't really want to waste time. Well tried. Let's upgrade her by 10 years. Welcome in, same thing, 1990s proposed fit. I've set her to free fire, 3, 2, 1 now. Tomahawk's out. She had 61. Let's see how many she's going to fire. Wow. I don't know why she's firing so many today. She's going to fire all of them, isn't she? No, she fired 61 minus 41. She fired 20 of them. Interesting. Oh, that's the same amount as that the 1980s fired, 20. Okay, I've paused it and set the Zumwalt to free fire. She's already firing defensive missiles, which she can fire otherwise, and go. And out go the Tomahawks, and presumably, what was it, 10 are going to be fired again? Yes, 10 fired again. Right, defensive SM6s on their way. Now, it'll be interesting to see if they lose track again. Wow, look at the seeker head on it. That is a big seeker head. Jesus. That's probably why they're finding the Iowa, because look at the size of their seeker head. It's like the size of the Mediterranean. And it's failed and gone for Iowa. So there you go. This could be a quick mission. Oh god, it's going to quick through. Pause. Why isn't Iowa using her SM2? She's set to free fire. She's got SM2 times 122. Well, she should be using them, viewers, I would have thought. She's not. And there's not much I can do about that. Maybe the missile was too low. This one's got through as well. Oh dear. They've definitely fired defensively, so why they're going for the ship, that I don't know, viewers. Something to do with the seeker head size, I'd imagine. Pause. I don't actually like using these SM6s in games. Sorry to keep pausing it, viewers. I find them too powerful. I mean, that's at 2,800 knots, so that's at Mark 4 at 5,000 feet. I mean, there's not much you can do to stop that, right? Unless you've got a lovely Seawiz. Another one's got through. Not sure why so many are getting through this time. I just hope it can be defeated. Still Mark 4. I'm on tenterhooks, viewers. Right, are these going to go for the right targets? These are going for the right targets. There, did you see it change there? It was going for a missile, it lost track, and now it's going for the mothership. And because so many have lost track, it's probably going to kill the mothership. I'm not convinced it would do that in real life, viewers. Let me know your thoughts. It just seems so dangerous that it could just change its mind at any point and go 50 miles in a different direction and hit a ship. Ah, 2 down, 3 down. Wow! Seawiz has got a lot better, viewers. Oh, we got a hit. It's an SM6, though. It's a moderate-sized warhead in terms of anti-shipping. So, as Baby would say, are you okay? Slight hull damage. Some flooding. They've got 3 damage control teams on it. I reckon they'll fix that. Did you see it hit right on the bow? So, Zumwalt is all out of SM6. So, the primary threat has been dealt with. That's great. ESSMs are going to be for self-defense only. The Dark Eagle is out of range, or too far in range. It's MSTs, it won't fire another 10 probably until the other ones have hit. So she's done a much worse job at shooting down these missiles than last time. Or have I lied? No, I've lied. No, I haven't lied. In fact, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, viewers. But they certainly haven't shot all of these down. Right, let's ESSM out against the Tomahawks, which means that Zumwalt's Tomahawks are getting pretty close as well. She's firing more because she's got lots more, so she can keep firing. Look, she's got plenty of these in reserve because she's got so many Mark 41 cells. My main concern, viewers, about this ship is why she's not firing her SM2. She's got it, she's got her radar on, she's free fire, she's got 122 missiles, but she's just not using them for defense. I can't see what I've done wrong, if I'm honest about that, so I don't know. Oh. Well, there's the SM2s. There's the SM2s. I haven't done anything wrong. SM2s are now shooting down the red missiles. Not particularly well by the looks of it. Lots of SM2s out. Yeah, MST's down. Well done. Or are they? Yes, they are. What are these? Oh, here's the next batch of Tomahawks. And some wayward SM2s that have lost track, which means that Zumwalt must be firing. Yes, she is. She's firing her next Tomahawks, probably 10. Well, this is a nice battle, viewers. I'm actually not sure who's going to win this, right? One has 40 Tomahawks, one has 61 Tomahawks. I would probably go with the 61 Tomahawks, and both have the ability to shoot those Tomahawks down. Right, we are 10 minutes into the battle. Usually these modern ship battles don't last longer than a few minutes. So she's fired harpoons this time, but Iowa didn't fire harpoons last time, which is interesting. Well, not what I spotted. Right. Oh, she's out of missiles. She's out of missiles. She's out of her SM6. She's out of her ESSM. Why has she used so many? She hasn't had that many missiles shot at her. She's had 40 missiles shot at her, and she's used loads of missiles. And she's now using a 155 gun, her HVP, whatever it's called. Which ain't going to do a lot. Well, I'm afraid to say, viewers, this is only going one way, because she's got nothing left to defend. Some sort of gun there, 30mm I think it is on the back. Oh dear. Well, if you're a Zumwalt fan, turn away now. Big Eye wins. So there was an exchange of missiles to begin with. Oh, hang on. Oh yes, sorry, I forgot, there's 10 more of these coming in. But she's taking them out easily. HVP, I don't know what they're doing. I think they've just gone astray. Iowa definitely wins. Right, so there was an exchange of missiles, anti-shipping missiles at the beginning, all subsonic. The Iowa shot about 20, the Zumwalt shot 10, for whatever reason. All were neutralised. Then SM6s from this guy here, I don't know, were fired inefficiently. Some missed their targets and went for Iowa, but Iowa dealt with them with her Sea-Whiz, which is impressive to watch. Then a new exchange. Iowa fired a bit first for some reason, I don't know why, and Zumwalt then fired her 10. Zumwalt's 10 were easily dispatched by Iowa's SM2s, and the first batch were easily dispatched by her SM2s. Zumwalt then ran out of ammo because she has 80 cells, half of those are taking up with MSTs, another 10% are taking up with ASROC, leaving 40% for defensive missiles, and she only had, 80 defensive missiles? And for some reason, she used all of those missiles up on the 40 missiles that were shot at her. She ran out of defense, and that's it. She doesn't have a Sea-Whiz. She had these 30mm guns, but they were hopeless. Moral of the story, give ship a Sea-Whiz, question mark? Because that's what saved Iowa, right? So, yeah, that's all very interesting. Well, Zumwalt is not as invincible as we thought. Now, for all you people shouting up and down at your screens, viewers, it shouldn't have lost, it shouldn't have lost. But remember, its benefits are tactical, what we talked about. Its acoustic properties, its RCS are tactical, and this is a non-tactical battle. This is a firepower battle, and in the firepower battle, the big ship won, which I guess is kind of obvious in a way, isn't it? But it was really impressive to see. Let's think what we do next, viewers. Why don't, for the lols, we do like a 15-mile battle? there's no real reason to do this. It's just fun. Let's see what happens at 15 miles. Weapons free. 3, 2, 1 now. That is... What is that? What's firing? Harpoons are firing. Let's check Zumwalt. She's firing her main weapon, SM6. Yeah, she's just going... Oh, she's fired a HVP this time. She's also mainly firing at SM6s. It's going to be probably direct fire, and that's... Oh, wow. Okay. HVP's got through. So this is the hypersonic thing. Oh, it's going to happen very quickly, isn't it? SM6 jammed. Oh, God. Pause. Sorry, viewers. Let's try and work out what the hell's going on here. This guy is firing defensively. Yes, defensively. Or offensively? No, defensively. This guy is firing offensively with SM6, which is getting shot down. Trying to keep up. More SM6 jammed. What about the other side? Oh, something's happening. The big guns are firing, but she's been hit. It was just impossible to watch, viewers. Sorry about that. In fact, we can actually just sit and watch from this view, can't we? Oh, someone's hit too. Those are 16-inch shells landing. That's not over yet. She's fired all of her SM6s and all of them have hit. 16-inch guns going out. Oh, and someone's down! Well, big eye. As soon as you get within 16-inch gun range, everything dies, basically. And she got hit many times, but she's so big, she just soaked that damage up. And she's still got 3 damage control crew going. And look, they're just fixing it in a matter of seconds. So, wow, 15 miles, Iowa just destroys 16,000 tons with her guns, which I guess isn't much of a surprise, right? Last one, broadside, is probably going to be the same. Ooh. Wow. But we'll try it anyway. Alright, the obligatory broadside, viewers. Who's the biggest, manliest, most heavily armoured beastie? Well, we know who it is, so unpause and enjoy anyway. Now, can Zumwalt fire enough missiles before those gun turrets get on her? Well, she's not going to fire any, because they're within the minimum range of the missiles, so enjoy what's about to happen. Viewers, if you absolutely have to destroy a Zumwalt, I suggest Iowa at close range. She's turned at a silly angle, though. Wow. Have you ever seen so much destruction? Stop shooting her, she's already dead. Well, viewers, that's obviously it. I don't know why she's still firing, but there you go. So, everything worked beautifully, and a massive surprise. The Zumwalt... Sorry, let me get out of here so you can hear me. So everything worked beautifully, viewers. No problems, which was nice. The 1980s real Iowa versus Zumwalt. The Zumwalt won, overpowered Iowa, but Iowa put up a pretty decent fight, to be fair. Then we introduced the 1990s, and the 1990s just overwhelmed her with so many missiles, and the attritional effect meant that the Zumwalt simply ran out of missiles and couldn't defend herself, no close-in seaways. 15 miles within those 16-inch guns, it was over before it started, and the broadside for a battleship is always only going to go one way. I found that thoroughly enjoyable, viewers. I hope you did too, and auf Wiedersehen. Sorry, viewers, I completely forgot. I promised to do a version of the Zumwalt using her HVP, so again, 1990s Iowa, 50 miles from the Zumwalt, off we go. Set to free fire, and her HVP is armed. Go. Okay, SM6 is going out again. all the SM6s out again, literally all of them. Again, it missed its target and it's going for the mothership. Now, will we get a sneaky SM6 through this time? Yes, we will. No, we won't. It's actually jammed. Oh, okay. That was unexpected, viewers. These ones are doing their job and taking out the Tomahawks. Alright, while that's happening, here comes in HVP. This apparently is representing the Hyper Velocity Projectile. Apparently they have a range of up to about 70 miles, which is kind of crazy, right? They're being shot at by SM2, but they are not hitting. No, sorry, it's the SM6s that are coming in. Yeah, so the remaining SM6s are coming in. And HVPs. With the addition of the HVP, she's just been overwhelmed. Her defences have been overwhelmed. Wow, what a difference that made. Alright viewers, well there you go. 1980's Iowa gets beat by Zumwalt. 1990's 2000's Iowa beat Zumwalt without HVP. With HVP, Zumwalt beat Iowa due to overwhelming. Within 15 miles, Iowa of any version wins every time due to its gun. I definitely hope you enjoyed that. And she's not quite dead yet, is she? She's dead. She's going down, viewers. She's going down. I won't waste any more of your time. She's definitely down. Bye-bye.